Alright. Currently number 2 in the world, like Dreamer Run with commentary. Alright, stage 1's pretty easy, simple, makes sense. One thing to know about this game is the closer point blanking is a thing, but it's actually pretty linear. So even just being somewhat closer to the enemy when you're shooting it increases your damage output. We are trying to build bombs and hypers, called fevers. So we do care about getting points here, but in the end, it's really only because we care about speed. My bomb for this loadout is actually kind of a mini hyper, so it's just increased damage on normal shots. Entering the boss. I'm going to do a bullet cancel. I'm going to try to point blank. It's all at the head here. Redirect, redirect. No, a little bit of dodging. Okay, now here's the first little trick. We are deliberately going to get hit. This game has a mechanic where if you fire off a bomb or a hyper within a few frames of getting hit, you'll save the life. But when you do it with the hyper, which is what just happened, you actually get double the iframes. So if you saw in that one, I was just letting bullets come all over me so I could point blank longer. Going into level 2, 3/4 of a bomb built up. You can see that the circle around my character. And we get one at the beginning of every level anyway. So hyper in here, try to point blank as much as possible. Oh, and because I didn't explain it. Normally you don't speedrun a shmup like this. But this has a speedrun mode where instead of just auto-scrolling at the same tempo for the entire level, it'll speed up based on how many enemies are on screen. So once you clear out enemies quickly, you can actually speed up the scrolling for a little bit. And that's how you get lower and lower times. Okay, got a fever, just using it here. Helps me just kind of get through this part faster, and I always end up with enough resources on this level. In level 2, for some reason I often die at the boss, so I always end up getting a bomb. There will be points in a run where you'll want to suicide to get a bomb if you're low on resources and you don't have any coming soon. That is not the case right now. You'll see I have a fever built up again, so expect the death fever, where I take a hit and then immediately hyper, or fever, and then I can point blank. You can see my iframes in the bottom left counter. That was a mistake, I did not want to take a hit there. Here, trying to point blank what I can. Gonna bomb. Oh, I didn't bomb. Should've bombed. Oh, I didn't have a bomb. Yeah, because I used that other one with the mistake in the first phase when I took a hit. This could be more efficient. I've got a better way to do this now. But you'll see I bomb and use those iframes to point blank there. Take another hit. That was not on purpose. That was not an intentional suicide. That was just... I was messing around, didn't think this was going to be a real run, and then it ended up being one, so... Use of iframes there, saved me. Did not death fever there, didn't need to. Bomb and point blank. Finish that off quickly. That one should have been a Death Fever, it wasn't. You'll also notice on kills when Hyper is active, Fever is active, it will cancel bullets within the radius, within a small radius of the enemy you're killing too, which that doesn't happen for bombs. But it does allow you to be more aggressive when you are hypering. Like that. You'll see it. There again. That was a mistake as well. Got a little too aggressive point blanking. This is inefficient. I got a better way to do this now, but it was. Point blanking. I built the Fever, built a Hyper, and doing a Death Hyper here so I can get a few seconds iframes so I can point blank the whole way through. Inadvertent death bomb there. Wasn't a big deal because of running out of bombs. Death Fever there. Got to take advantage of those iframes a bit. Not really abusing them there like I do on the boss fights, but slow, there's better ways to do that. Death Fever, not on purpose, but it was good timing. You'll notice I seem to have a lot of bombs and hypers. I'm rarely out, and a big part of that is going for at least some score. Because in a speedrun, you don't want to be out of them. Should be point blanking here for a second with those iframes, and it wasn't. I'm truly full on resources. I can't take any more. You can only hold 3 bombs. I have 3. You can only have 1 hyper. I have 1. Now I'm going to take a Death Fever there, because I can abuse these iframes for a little bit longer. The only way to harm the boss in this phase is to destroy these tentacle things. And I'm trying to destroy specific ones because there's an order in which these things attack, and you'd rather them not attack, so. I'm gonna abuse some iframes here. Point blank. Death Fever, perfect timing. Could have done it a little earlier, I guess. I had plenty of resources, so even though that phase was almost done, the bomb give me the opportunity to point blank there. Save about a second. Should have bombed earlier there. And that was unintentional death fever. I think that's a mistake. I think because I left that ring on the screen, it was counting and didn't let you speed up. It will speed up the background if you only have one or two of the little popcorn enemies. That wasn't doing it. That could have been a lot faster. I say a lot, like 2 seconds faster, it wasn't. Seeing me trying to catch these people as they come on screen. Point blank and kill it faster. It's gonna be our last bomb. I think it should be the last bomb before the boss. No, I end up using that here. That's a little trick. It actually is fine with a hyper because you'll notice the bar below me, that's my hypermeter. That doesn't keep decreasing during these transition phases, but a bomb would. So, even though it tricked me there, it ended up not being bad because it was a hyper. Oh my god, I can't believe I took that hit. Using iframes there. Okay. This part is pretty tough to point blank on. I haven't found a good way. So I end up staying back, moving up a little bit here and there, but it just ends up being slower. And I take a clip. That was a mistake. It shouldn't have happened. Got to death fever, so I got extra iframes there, but that was a mistake. That could be faster. Could have used them here instead. And I take a hit, like a chump. Alright, heading into level 6, stage 6. We got a bomb, we got roughly 3/4 of our next bomb built up. We're gonna get a bomb in the beginning of the 5th stage. Like, we have plenty of resources to get this thing started. Those bears on balls that you see rolling around, those really can just keep you going slow in a speedrun. You have to take care of effectively all of them. If you leave one on screen and it's at the bottom, it just eats up so much time. So that's why you see me like swooping down to grab them, even when I have other enemies on screen. If they're gonna stay on screen too long, it doesn't. I still have to go take care of them anyway, so. Okay, now we have a hidden extend in this boss. That was not an intentional hit, but I was going to bomb anyway, so it doesn't matter. If you kill this boss in 14 seconds, mid-boss here, in 14 seconds or less, you get the hidden extend. The easiest way to do that is bomb, or hyper, or whatever. So I always do. You can even take a death and get it when you do that. But you can, with this character loadout, you can technically kill that thing under 14 seconds without using any resources. So that might be an avenue going forward to try to get more speed up. Because there are times where I end up running out of resources coming up here. And I have to wait for a bomb to generate. I don't remember if I do in this run or not. I don't. Okay. So I've got a full bomb, I've got a full hyper, and I've got 2/3, 3/4, somewhere in there of the next bomb built up. I'm going to be using one hyper and one bomb on this phase of the boss. This is a really tanky phase. You got to take out all those little kind of gadgets. That was an intentional death fever. And that's the only way to damage this phase of the boss. I'll be using iframes. Alright, now I gotta back off a little bit. So you'll notice I come out of that, I still had a bomb, I'm 3/4 of the way to the next bomb, and I was 2/3 of the way, halfway, 2/3 of the way to my hyper. This is just hard to point blank the whole time. Sometimes I can do it, but that pattern can quickly mess with you and push you back. My Death Fever coming here. I think I did this too early. Should have dodged that first one because I ended up taking the death there. And if I waited a half second, it's not a big deal. Now I've got plenty of bombs. So I should bomb again here. Just point blank in, doing my dodging. Abuse here. Keep trying to point blank as much as you can. And now we're going to back off for safety because she's almost dead. Alright, heading in. Next level, I effectively have both a bomb and a fever. It's just going to take a few seconds to realize it. Bomb built up, fever built up, and we can use them. So this is a stage where it is pretty easy to run shy on resources, and that's assuming you don't death bomb. I always forget that third one coming in there. There's just enough tanky enemies far enough apart that you just can run out of bombs when you want them later in the level stage. Okay. So I believe it is faster to destroy these speakers on the side first than it is to just take on the center stage. But that's the first mid-boss. We have a second one because the boss here is twins and they both get act as mid-boss. So in our second mid-boss, by destroying the speakers first, you'll see another hidden extend. There's 3 hidden extends. There's kind of a lot, but it's an 8-stage game instead of a normal 5-stage arcade game. So it's not completely out of line. We got those iframes there. This is not good. There we go. Death bomb to get that. And now we are going to get the hidden extend. And see here, I'm out of resources. Now I finally get one. That's what I was talking about. Is just and those decisions are tough. Like how close are you to your next bomb? There's like very clear, if you're beyond this point, just suicide and get a bomb. Dying costs you time, but you can make that up by having the bomb. If you're really close to getting the next bomb, you don't want to suicide. And then there's like this no man's land in between that I haven't fully figured out on whether it's worth it or not. That was on purpose hit. That was not. But now I'm going to have plenty of resources for this boss. I think on this section it also is still faster to destroy the speakers on the side before destroying the main stage. You are not required to. Alright, now in full-on bombs, you're going to see me abuse a little bit here. Which one of these two twins you destroy first dictates which twin you're going to face in the next couple of phases. I prefer facing Crimson here, Crim, versus Cyan, the blue one. So I destroy Cyan first so that Crimson stays around. I think I've got a better way to do that now. It's not fully worked out yet, though. Okay. Point blanking, and then do some kind of tight dodging. This is significantly harder than it looks. And here we are going to bomb. And then we kind of get a point blank of it here. Oh, that was a death bomb. Now at this point, I'm up there, up and close, in tight quarters to point blank, and to kill him faster. That is really tough dodging. It doesn't look as tough as other patterns in here, but it really is. You have 4 overlapping patterns, and it's really hard to keep track of all of them in your head. Alright, we are on the final stage. I messed up by not destroying one of the cannons. That slowed down my scrolls for a while. Being out so far back, I don't know that I could have killed him. Alright, we are destroying that guy as quickly as possible. We're point blanking this castle a little bit because he's the tankiest part. Fresh bomb for those tanky butterflies. Hyper really makes this section easy. Alright, last and extend, you have to kill that person without using a bomb. It's a clone of you, an AA clone of you. So when you're a different character, it's a different clone. But you have to, if you kill it without using a bomb, you can get the last and extend. I point blanked it kind of as it came on screen, because that is the absolute fastest and kind of easiest way to do it. Alright. Hate this section, and I take a death fever, so now I just abuse iframes point blank. Alright, now we're gonna bomb again, yep. Oh. Not too bad, because I was out of resources anyways. So, but I had a bomb coming, so I don't know. It's hard because that area has like multiple tanky enemies, which means you need to be much closer to getting the next bomb for it not to make sense that suicide. I'm guessing it was a wash. Anyway, here we're point blank in the cake. These guys, not a big deal. The next revision of our clone shows up again. Clone of one of the other characters in play shows up. I'm using iframes. You'll notice a lot of iframe abuse, if you haven't already. Alright, now we're gonna fever, kill these. They're not exactly tanky, but when there's that many of them, it can slow it down a lot. And then I was gonna use something here anyway, so what's still going on? Bomb out of this. Kill these two tanky guys. Alright. Now this is the dragon from the first level, though with more bullets this time. We're gonna end up bombing and point blank and iframe abuse to finish it off. This is annoying. These guys don't fire any bullets until you shoot them. They only fire suicide bullets like that. So you could totally just not shoot them for a survival run, but when you're going for speed, you gotta shoot them and kill them as quickly as possible so more come on screen. Alright, now this section is the only section that auto-scrolls, but doesn't speed up based on how many enemies are left. And the reason is, it's considered a boss section, because we're leading up to the queen here, as it were. And so I think it just turns off the auto-scroll nature during all boss fights. That was a mistake. Left a little early. Gonna take a hit, I think, here. Yep. Death bomb. Point blank. I kind of messed this whole section out, if I remember right. Yeah. That's another death I didn't want to take, or a bomb I didn't want to use. Come into this with a fever. I'm going to take a hit. Oh, I didn't take the hit. That was a mistake. Yeah, that's some slow section because I'm back so far when I'm dodging that. I'm not good enough at that pattern yet to be closer. Alright, iframe abuse. Now we can't iframe abuse anymore. Got another bomb. It's a little slow, but it's alright. Okay, we're gonna abuse. Nope, we don't do it. Yep, there we have to do it. We're choosing to do it. The choice is made for us. The reason I didn't want it is because I wanted that bomb for this section. And I was otherwise out of resources, but I should end up getting a fever in a second here. There it is. And then kind of point blanker a bit. And get the death. That's not too bad. Could have done it faster if I had more resources, but hey. Alright, misdirect those aim shots. Try to point blank. In here. That other gun is almost dead. Alright, now we're gonna do this section is a bomb shield. You saw it for a split second there. She has a bomb shield, but there's a... When you use this bomb, it only lasts for like 2 seconds. And then you have increased power. So as she's coming back in, I like to bomb before I can hurt her. And try to get the bomb shield here. Alright, now am I gonna take... That would have been a great spot to take a death fever, a death hyper, and I just didn't. Because I got a point blank for extra seconds and killed her quicker. So it goes. Here's the end of the run. Counting up lives. 27 minutes, 34.9 seconds.